How's it going, everybody? Back streaming. It's been a long time and a while, but I'm here today. I've been flying a lot. I fly a lot lately with an Alaskan Air Virtual, flying in Alaska primarily, and just some of the flights that I've taken in the last couple of weeks are just absolutely amazing. So I'm definitely going to be working on trying to stream a little bit more. Um, some days it's just, it's a good chill out to get in the PC and do a little bit of flying. So I definitely want to bring more to you. So we're gonna get everything ready. Today we are in British Columbia doing a tour from Alaska Air, um, and it flies through, starts in, I believe Idaho, made its way into BC, Canada, and then we're gonna end up going up the coast. I can show you what I got left. I've already taken, I already finished, but that's what we got left. Heading down into Washington, then we're gonna head on up the coast. Hit Stewart, and I think we went to Calgary. I think we started somewhere, yeah, down here. I know we stopped at Pullman, Moscow. I remember that one. So it's been a great flight so far. Great trip. I accidentally downloaded the entire BC area from here, from Calgary or Edmonton down and across in ZL16. Um, I guess the only person that's or only thing that's going to be unhappy about that is my hard drive, but it looks gorgeous. So we'll keep that going. It should be fun. I just want to do one more quick check before we get going. Today we are in. Like I said, I haven't streamed in a long time, so I don't know how much stuff and how much demand's going to be on the old PC right now and the internet connection, but that's not looking too bad. Stream's looking good, so. All right. That's not what I wanted to do. So we'll get into this. Yeah, I just want to make sure that having too many windows open isn't going to kill me on my frames and internet connection. I don't have I'm not connected to my virtual airline yet too, so we'll see where that's going to be at. Okay, so if you hadn't noticed, we're going to be flying. I've flown this whole tour except for the very first leg in 172. The spirit of this tour is to do it in a 172. Because I hadn't flown it a whole lot, I chose to get the rep package for the Coronado Cessna 210. Absolutely love it for this type of trip. These long cross countries. This is a very versatile plane and definitely works well for this type of situation, especially when you're going over mountains. Having the oxygen system in there definitely can help you get the added altitude you need if you were in those situations, and it definitely has some power. It's really good. So speaking of power, let's figure out where we're going today. Downsize this, get that out of the way. Okay, so here's our sky vector chart. So I've primarily hand flown this whole thing, and use navigation as best you can, because I'm telling you, when you're in the bush, you learn how to navigate real quick, and that's why I really like flying in Alaska now. It really is a test, especially with the weather conditions and all that. It's definitely a test in your senses. So we're at Williams Lake right now, CYWL, and we're going to be heading south to CBJ4 Echo Valley. So that approach should be pretty interesting and look marvelous. So can't wait to get down there. Looks like our only nav aid's going to be the VOR at Williams Lake. So once we get our plane fired up, we'll get in there and plug that in. So we're going to go off the 151 radial, 60 miles. Might lose that nav source, but we'll do it. Like I said, getting used to flying with, you know, virtually no nav aids or anything. Definitely test your knowledge on having good VFR skills and identifying different creeks or canyons like this. So that's something to note right now. Me right now looking at this flight route, we know we'll probably have that VOR at least to here, to that first big. So we're going to cross 2 canyons. So memorize that and keep that in mind. So we're going to cross at 1 canyon and then the next one, and then I'll know the third one's there. If need be, and we really got lost, we always know we can go west, hit the river, follow the river down to that canyon. That's my game plan right now. But worst case scenario, we'll do that. Yeah, like I said, trying to avoid using the GPS, which is kind of fun. It definitely can give you a little bit of a challenge. So you can see our terrain in these blocks. We got 8-7 over here, but nothing too much in that area. We're going to be east of these mountains right here. So I'm going, that's easterly course anyway. So we're going odd. And I think 7.5 will work for us. So we're going to go 7.5. So let me get this loaded up here. Already did my pre-ground check. Already got rid of all of the let me do this right here. Load that. Setting the altitude. So I'm doing my pre-flight chart for the PRIP, my virtual airline, and start that flight. Alright, so that started, so I don't have to worry about that. There may be radio frequencies, but SkyVector doesn't report them, and I don't have my Navigraph thing working anymore. So we'll go with, actually, you know what we can do? We can do, what you normally can do. Elevation is 3,083 feet. So, get inside this plane. Let's get her fired up and we'll figure that one out. So, we did our ground checks. I'm going to run track R. If it gets a little bit crazy for you guys, just let me know and I'll, you know, do it less. Getting a little bit of tearing in my screen right now, probably on the last leg of my video card, or at least pushing the very, very extent of it. So, alright. Battery power is on. So I want to get rid of the yoke. Beacon and nav is on. Alright, so mixture full in. Gear is down and locked. Alright, crack the throttle. Make sure our tank is selected. Oh. Oh, my fuel pump was on, so now we're flooded. Which I'm gonna put full throttle in, cut the mixture, and we'll try to hopefully get this thing started here. Not like that at all. I want to double check and make sure my maintenance report. It doesn't sound good on the starter. I don't know why. Starter was good. Alright. What am I missing here? Battery on. I would really wish that fuel pump would have been on. I don't know why it sounds like that right now. So we're not. Oh, there we go. Alright, so let's pull back those RPMs now. And I guess I turned the engines way down. Yeah. Rep's screaming at me. Alright, so there's a little bit of a engine for you. Alright. Alright, so we got her started. Let's get alternator on. I will for today. Turn out X chatter. I got uni. XATC chatter. You guys are interested? It's definitely a nice little add-on to have for if you're not in a network getting ATC. It's nice to have that ambiance of you know, some chatter going on every once in a while. I definitely like keeping that on just to hear every once in a while, but I will turn it down. Okay, so altimeter. So the field elevation is 3003. So without knowing what the barrow is, we can just adjust the altimeter to get it. And yeah, 3003. And about there. So 300. I am running active sky, so we'll do a double check and look and see what we got going on. And 3001 is what it's calling. So there's a quick and dirty way of being able to figure out the altimeter when you don't have it. When you have a airport that doesn't give an ATIS, AWAS, or whatnot. Alright, so 3001, the backup altimeter, I'm going to adjust as well. 3001, got it, set it. Alright, while the engine's warming up, let's get the VOR in. And we're looking at Williams Lake is 113.6. Alright, and there it is. We're looking for the 151 radial. So let's plug that in. Alright, 151's plugged in. We can look for a flag around here somewhere. I don't see one. So let's just say that inside there was a NOTAM of exactly what the winds are right now. So we'll go on active sky. So 060 or excuse me, 060 at 5 knots. So I always like putting my heading bug on that just so that I can orient myself and know where the winds are coming from. Of course, there's going to be a direct crosswind for our departure, but it's 5 knots, so should be good. And we'll depart straight out too. So 060, so we're gonna head off that way. Yeah, so the runway's pretty much right on, no wait, take a look here. Williams Lake is 0230. So we'll be going 02. Be going 02. Alright, sounds good. Alright, so we got the rep. Want to double check my numbers. We are at 20C, just under it, so we'll go by that on our cruise performance. So I got that number set in my mind, and we'll get to that when we get to cruise. Alright, so we're all set right now. Get our taxi lights on, pitot heat set, get our standby on, squawking VFR. Turn all of our lights on. Alright, temperatures are all in, looking good. Do want to open up the cowl flaps. I have almost everything. I wouldn't say almost everything, but I have a majority of things mapped out on my. I have almost a home cockpit. If you're first time joining me, I have a little pedestal system set up with two radio panels from Desktop Aviator that were really nice and good. I have the push-pull throttle quadrant. I'm using my SciTech throttle quadrant for different levers and stuff like that. I pretty much mapped my mixture control for the cowls. And then I have a trim wheel that I'll use for trim. Which, speaking of that, let's set that. So we're setting takeoff trim right there. It was hard to figure out to get right, but I'll tell you what, having a trim wheel, and it's still kind of finicky, it's very sensitive, and if you go into autopilot, the manual autopilot will fight what you have, so you really have to have your trim set before you put the autopilot in, or it keeps wanting to bounce between what the setting is and what the autopilot wants to do to hold its heading or hold its altitude. So I pretty much disable it if I'm doing autopilot flights, but I have it on for manual flight, which is what we're going to do today. And it really definitely brings that next level of real world flying immersion to you. Alright, so we got everything set, ready. As far as we're pretty much there. I will throw in to the GPS our destination. Plan is to do 2 hops right now. We're going from Williams Lake to Echo Valley. We already talked about that. And then from Echo Valley to Pemberton Airport, which is CYPS. So, you see that here. Come down here, and then we're going to follow some, probably some beautiful terrain over there, and go down in this valley, and that should be a fun approach right there. So, can't wait. Airport's at 670, and the mountains around it are at 10, so that will be fun. We'll definitely be diving into that canyon to get down in there. All right, well, second part of this will be very entertaining. Well, let's get off the ground. All right, cowl flaps are open. Make sure my rudder's trimmed back to center. All right, good to go. So I do want to make sure that my mapping was right and didn't mess with something the other day. This is SciTech Yoke 3. Is contact AC? Yes. Oh, yep. I mapped it to the landing gear. Okay. All right. So let's make sure that is down right now. Yep. All right. Working. All right. Let's hit it. All right. Brakes are released. Flaps 1 setting. It's down. I'm gonna head over here. Taxi light is on. Give her a little bit more. So running active sky with ultra weather. Been loving every minute of that. It's definitely been very, very good lately. So with the taxi signs being all messed up right now, this is very confusing. So it looks like over there is like a run-up spot. Okay. Alright. Alright. Hold short here. We got landing lights on, taxis off, strobes on, feet of heat can come off. And we're going to go on, and we will start the clock. Alright, checking final. Nobody's there. Make sure full. And we'll go on the go. Alright, square it up. Alright, power's in. Came off the center line there. 60 and rotate. Positive climb. Tap the brakes. Retract the gear. Flaps up. And trimmer out. So max continuous at full prop you can only do for a handful of minutes, so kind of want to get stabilized. We're going to depart straight out here. Make sure we're not going to run anything. And I'm going to push the prop in. Let's go to 25. And I'm going to hit my mixture. It is fuel injected, so I kind of had to read the manual. You have to read the manual on the rep because it doesn't want to be over. You actually got to lean down to 160 from the get-go. So see how that leaning out definitely just. Okay, so we're going to trim it for 90. And I got a little bit of aileron trim I want to try to put in here. Flaps are up. Okay, so we're looking for 75. We'll be clear on 75. Beautiful looking scenery. Oh man, look at the haze over by the mountains. Looks great. Alright, so let's turn intercept. I don't really have to rush to get over on the VOR, on the radial, because I know that it's going to be a little bit longer flight. Passenger 55. And I do respect VFR flight, so I do try to divert around a cloud if I do see it. But golly, look at that. Look at that. We'll go exterior in a second once we hit top climb. I'll try to get rid of some more. Try to get closer to our EGT. I want to get it like about halfway. Okay, so we'll turn to about 116. Just do a slow intercept, and we'll go 170. All right, 68. Okay, so our cruise performance at plus 20C, you want to be for best fuel economy at 70% power or less. So if I look on the chart here at 2300 RPM at 30 manifold pressure, puts me right at 69, which is perfect, and our KTAS airspeed is going to be 170 at 90 pph pounds per hour. So we're just about there. Actually, we are there. So trim down, and here comes the power. Alright, so we're going to hold that right there. I am watching that radial starting to come in too, so pay attention to that. Alright, so 25, we're going to go and pull power back first to 30. See it on the gauge over there. And we'll pull the prop to, see, and it really definitely wants to kick up now. Alright. And prop is going to go to 35. Alright. So we almost went 500 up above. So I'll keep coming down a little bit more. Ooh, I am way leaned. So I'm looking at about 90 right there. That's what it says on the chart. I kind of go a little bit higher. I've had reps been telling me that I'm inside the red box when it comes to my fuel or my mixture, but yet I'm trying to set it right for what the chart told me. So whatever. I'll go 100. It's good. We're not paying for the fuel really anyway, so. Alright, little bit of aileron trim. Should be able to cruise pretty good. I was gonna plug in the GPS, but we'll ride the VOR DME. Alright, so we gotta get a little bit lower here. That's 79. What is wrong with you? I'm gonna close the cowls about halfway. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm right there where you told me to put it. It's crazy. 90. Let's go a little bit rich and see if it goes away. Radial's getting close coming in. We gotta get it down a little bit. Beautiful ortho scenery, as usual. You know, you really, if you're an ortho user, you get used to having ortho. But man, what a difference ZL16 is from. I mean, I don't know what this thing wants from me. I'm right there. I usually don't have this many issues with it too. Jebediah, how you doing? Good evening, Atlanta Tower. This is Delta Airlines. I read you. Right. So let's get closer on that radial. I have no clue what this thing wants. I'm at 23, 23 and 30. Yeah, I'm at 23 and 30. I'm right there at 90 and it's whatever. Alright, so we need to trim up just a bit. Iowa Scotsman, how are you doing, man? I'm in the wrong here. Thank you for the follow, Jebediah. We're doing a little VFR flying in the mountains of British Columbia, heading south right now from Williams Lake, heading to Echo Valley Airport. And rep is just annoying me today for some reason. I don't know why. So you like it at 100 field flow, then take 100 field flow. Whatever. Chart says 90, but whatever. Iowa Scotsman, long time. Yeah. I've been good. Just doing a little bit of chill flying lately. Actually, kind of in the last month, I've gotten back to doing a solid like 30-minute flight or whatnot a day. But you know, just trying to get streams and stuff together just always takes a little bit. So, but baby's good, amazing. Iowa. Remember this? I'm only a month and a half away from a 1-year-old baby. Crazy, isn't it? Last time I was streaming, she was pretty much getting ready to be born. So we're on a radial. Looking good there. Those mountains definitely look a heck of a lot higher than they're supposed to be. But almost a year, man. Sapper, what is up, man? All the old crew is in the house. It's good times. Yeah, seriously, Sapper. It's almost a year already. October 3rd, she'll be a year. So it is. right around the corner. And I am sucking right now, holding my altitude. Things been good. Things been good. Once you get used to having a kid and what that does to your life and all that, and figuring out how to still have happiness, like getting family time in, and then go fly a plane. So I moved to a virtual Alaskan airline, which is Alaskan Air Virtual, and just absolutely love flying in Alaska, and have it have it covered with about 70% of ortho right now. So it's been fun. I really enjoy flying this Alaskan stuff. Oh, Sapper's getting married. Oh man, congrats, dude. So, so if I do get back into streaming, like, at least somewhat of a schedule, then this is what you're gonna see. You're gonna see some beautiful ortho in the beautiful parts of the country, and usually some really, really rugged bush flying with virtually no nav aids. Yeah, I haven't seen it, Zapper. I gotta pay attention. I try to try to stay off that as much as possible. It's like it literally does not feel like this thing's flying the way it should be. Unless I just got a headwind, I'm about 10 knots slower than I should at this power setting. Man, I got something in my throat or whatnot. Go take a exterior walk here. Gotta be on the right page. Yes. Yes. We're loving it. How amazing is that? Flying in British Columbia, Alaska. Seems like I'm getting slower. Coming up on about 10 minutes for a fuel tank change. Oh, that's great, Iowa. Yeah, that's great. Good stories. Yeah, it was definitely a struggle for a long period of time, and we're blessed and happy to have our little girl. And oh gosh, she's a trip. I'm telling you, this kid, these kids are too smart nowadays. I mean, just sit here and think about, should she really know how to do that already? It's kind of crazy. Okay, so now I'm looking at the charts and I am seeing that mountain range that we were talking about. So, which is still weird because the square. Oh, so you know what? We're almost here. We're actually almost here because we are 41 DME from the VOR and our airport is 60, so we need to be on the lookout. Okay, so there's the river over there. I believe. Oh, so I think I see some lights over there. No, that's a bad ortho spot. Okay, so there is a creek right there. Try to identify that one. Should be a little bit of a flat spot. And we're going right at it based on a VOR. So we're based on this. Okay, so we got some lakes in front of us, so let's see if we can identify that. Okay, so there's a couple of long lakes over here. So I'm seeing them. I'm seeing them on the chart. So I'm seeing those two right there. So just past that, or where those lakes are running to, just around this mountain range, is where Echo Valley is. So we're going this way, right here. So we kind of see like the spillway of where the water flows back into the major river over there. So just where that ortho spot is where the airport is somewhere. I think I see it right there. Looks like right there. We'll see. Alright, with that being said, we can start somewhat of a descent. Let's see, we're at 73. Echo Valley is at 3650. And we're about 10 out, so we will start that descent. Push in the fuel, and I'll pull back a little power. Not much. I want to keep up the cruise. So how you been, Iowa? Yeah, I literally have not even just kind of not even looked at Twitch. Just really haven't been paying attention to a lot of stuff. It's you really get forced into that, you know, not forced. I mean, I absolutely love it, but you get into the family thing, and you got 50 million thousand things going on, and work and job, and school's been done for a while, so that's great. But yeah, it's. I think it was kind of like one of my mental things where I said I think I should eliminate as many distractions as I can to kind of be a better husband, father, and all that. And oh, I said Iowa. I said how's things been going for you? Still iRacing a lot? I mean, you were Sapper. I know you guys were heavy into iRacing. So we're gonna head down to 46. Want to keep those cowls closed to not shock cool the engine. Been racing here and there. Not doing a lot of racing. Yeah. I think I'm gonna take this power line segment or whatnot and kind of follow that in. I wonder what that is. I don't know if it's like a pipeline or a could be a pipeline, could be power, but there's no power lines being um, displayed there. Alright, so we're at 5.7. Put back the power a little bit more. And it says we're like right here. Let's see, let's get, we got 35 mile, there's 10 mile. So we got down pretty much right on time for pattern altitude. It doesn't feel like we're at pattern altitude, so now I'm gonna refer to active sky to get a so we're at 2997 now. Right. So we're within 5 miles now, so I'm gonna go full mixture. I'm gonna pull that power a little bit more. And we're scouting for the airport because I see nothing. Oh, this is it right here. Okay. So wind's 8-8. So we're gonna join the downwind right here. Really gotta get this thing slowed down. Now, full prop. Mixture's full. It will annoy you if you're trim that up a little bit more. Yanking and banking right now. Trying to get back on. That snuck up on me. Okay, so we're gonna land a little bit long there because there's a bad little bump in the runway. All right. First set of flaps, landing gear down. Open those cowl flaps back up. All right. All right, looks good. Go second notch flaps. Coordinate this turn a little bit better. Strobes off. This is a beautiful approach right here. Right in from the valley. Yeah. Alright, 80 knots, holding 80 knots. Trim it up a little bit more. Pull a little bit more. Alright, gear down, mixture's full, prop full. Good to go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Getting a little fast here. Ooh. Trust it. Trust it. Flaps up. Ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't hurt. Alright. Whew. That was a squirrely landing right there. Alright. So now to try to figure out how to take off. It should be up before we get to that spot right there. If we hit that at full speed, it's not going to be good. So I picked up, I don't know if anybody's noticed that, I picked up the new, this plugin that they got right here, landing analysis, and I really like that one. It's got your typical landing rate as usual, but it gives you a little bit more in-depth kind of information, how long your flight took, angle of descent, G-forces as usual, comfort index, it's cool, have that. Alright, mixture for ground operations, pull that, flaps are all the way up. Crosswind component, headwind component, it's pretty good information to just kind of on your landing debrief. So I did come to a realization the other day after talking to a real world pilot and trying to pick his brain, because ultimately I really enjoy flying, and I would love to be able to try to make a career out of it. Problem with that is there's not a whole lot of jobs that would be able to cover me while trying to get training in. And so I've kind of dove into finding out what types of jobs, like when can you start applying to jobs, or what kind of jobs and what kind of pay do you get. So if you don't follow him on YouTube, great real world pilot, CFI, Fly 8 Mike Alpha. Awesome, amazing videos of him flying in Alaska. But he does have a short little blog post on there about 5 jobs for 500-hour pilots. So I found through that this is gonna hurt. I'm gonna have to go around this. Yep. Oh my goodness. Okay, so like this airport needs to be flattened. So these 5 jobs for 500-hour pilots. Um, Part one, 135 commercial pilots. Those would be like charter pilots, whatnot. I guess for 500 hours, you have the ability to apply for those. Now, how many of those jobs would you be able to get as a VFR rating, or I don't know. Obviously, probably be easier in Alaska because stuff like that would be, single engine. But you are still going to need, I mean, if you were wanting to work for a company that was flying Lears or like King Airs or something like that, you're going to need multi and complex and a lot of checkoffs. So, but other than that, so here's my plan. Figured out my plan. My plans go, oh, just got a new follow. Waiting for it. Prado, how you doing? Thanks for the follow, man. Thanks for the follow. Nope, sorry, I got the mic away. So I figured out that thanks, bud. So figured out. So 500-hour pilots, you can be a 135 pilot or be able to apply to one. Might need multi, might need IFR rating, might need complex rating. So that comes with a little bit more. Skydive pilots, usually seasonal. Down here in Florida, it might not be as much of a seasonal thing. But like the long and short of it is a lot of these jobs are like on the median side to high side, $200 a day. So you're definitely not making a whole lot of money. CFI is something I thought about for a little while, but I'm just following my P-Rep right now. 7 gallons, 7 gallons. Oh, you know what? I never did my fuel tank switch either. What a bad pilot right there. All right, disconnecting track IR. Fuel pump on the switch. All right, we're switched. We're about 20 gallons off. All right, yeah, skydive pilots don't make much, and usually they're 1099 jobs, so that's kind of out of the question for right now. And let's see what else. There was banner pilots. They got a good gig. That's definitely a flight hour bank right there, flying banners. But just trying to come up with some kind of ideas of ways you can make money. So my new plan and idea is that I will start my private soon, get that going, and spend the next 20 years banking up hours to have a 55-year-old retirement gig of one of those 5 jobs. I thought about CFI, but I love teaching. I love instructing. The problem is that I do have a little bit of a control problem, and I don't know if I could sit in there and let people somewhat fail. I mean, the CFI is definitely not going to let somebody crash intentionally, but just being able to trust the person who's sitting next to you seems like I just started thinking about that the other day. Seems like that's I wonder if I would be good at that or not. I don't know. I have to check. Not very cool. Anytime makes me flight in Brazil. Have some scenarios. Dirt tracks, very cool. Generally, alright, that's cool. Prado, check that out. Glad you like the stream. So we are at Echo Valley in British Columbia, Canada, and we're gonna make our next hop. This is so this is the airline that I'm in part of. So this is the up and over tour that I'm doing currently right now. So that's where we started, way down there in Idaho. So we're working our way up. So the next stop on this leg is going to be Pemberton, which looks almost scary to try. Trying to figure out if I have any more navigational aids. So there's a VOR down there. Can't assume that I'll actually have that. Where is that? Where is that? Alright, Victoria, 113.7. I'm going to plug that one in. Probably going to be too far away, and with the mountains, definitely not going to have this radio. Right, VOR. So definitely don't have that. I still am picking up the Winter Lake, Williams Lake VOR, but I don't think I'm going to be able to pick that up very much longer at 60 miles away. There is so Vancouver is probably high-powered Vortec type. Might be able to pick up Vancouver's. So what is that one? So Vancouver is 115.9. Not going to pick that one up either. So we're going to have to probably fly VFR for some point of this trip. We really don't have anything else giving us very good direction. So I would love to cut the corner and fly over the mountains, but I think we'll be best to follow the river. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to follow the river, go through the canyons, follow the river, and hit CYLI, and then make that turn. Alright, that's what we're going to do. So, but hopefully we can get off this strip right now with that bad scenery. Alright, so let's double check. I'm going to get my bid. 207. Load. We are going to take an altitude, have to be even. I don't know, we're actually going west on this direction. So we can go, those are 10-4. Let's go 8-5. We're going to go 8-5. Alright, 8-5 set. I'm going to get our performance sheet's going to stay the same. Temperatures at 20 plus ISA, so we're good there. Alright, let's hit it. So we're facing 06, so the east. So we're going to have to depart. We'll do a left upwind and left downwind to get out of here. Right. Track hour back on. Flaps down. Let's go 2 notches, try to get out of here. That's good. Make sure in. Alright, let's do it. Prado, no, I'm not. This is active sky, or this is ultra weather with active sky. All right, full power. I'm gonna hold the brakes on this one too and get the power going. It's not that we're gonna have a short runway. It's the fact that we have a short usable runway. There is a oh, what? Oh man, I just failed here right here because aborted and rejected takeoff right here. I forgot to set my P-rep on the virtual airline. So we're going to spin it around and redo that takeoff because I have to have the parking brake in before I can start the flight. Always make a mental note anytime I go to an airport and we have like a scenery error like this. I do go into WED and try to fix these default airports as best I can. Rudders and brakes are very sensitive. I don't know why they're so much more sensitive than they had been. Alright, spin it around. Alright. Parking brake in. I knew I forgot something. Alright. Start flight. Landing lights on, beacon on. Alright. Strobes on. Landing's on. Master on. All good. Fuel pump switched. Or fuel tank switched. We're good. Wheels up. How's it going, man? Good evening from the burbs of CYVR. Well, I'm glad you could join, man. We're actually departing right now, Echo Valley, CBJ4, and heading to Pemberton, CYPS, in the backwoods of British Columbia, Canada. So, got a little bit of an bump in the runway here from some mesh, so I'm going to try to do a short field on this takeoff. Alright. So, airspeed's alive, 40. 60, and there we go, and just before it. Alright. Have to make our turn. Woo, stalling out. First notch up. I went 2 notches to get out of there. Make a... Oh, you know what? Whoa. Get a second notch. Shouldn't be adjusting flaps on a turn. Made that mistake. Our gear is still down, but I'm trying to make sure that high temperature. Why are we so high? Cowl flaps need to be open. I think it was that run up on the... Alright, so climbing at 90. And I'm going to tap the brakes and landing gear up. Let's get our prop into 25. Okay, so we definitely want that power down, so we'll get the power down, let the engine cool down. It's coming down right now, I'm watching it. It's got a lot of things going on right there, trying to get out of that airport, trying to avoid terrain. The joys of being a bush pilot, right? Ooh, A little bit of, whoa, what is, whoa, I must be getting some serious turbulence going on right now. Whoa. Maybe we're not going to 8.5. This is crazy. I've never seen this. These mountains. Yeah, we are not going to 8.5. I might stay low. So buckle up, guys. This is gonna be a bumpy ride. Wow. So that's definitely a weather report right there of high shear and turbulence. I did not see any NOTAMs in this area. I'd wonder what active sky's doing. Wow. This is definitely not going to make this trip as fun as it could have been. Alright, so we're heading down this valley. I just don't know. Should I go low into the canyon or try to climb and get out of it? All over the place. Wow. This is scary stuff right here. So in other news, I do have Vancouver's VOR set. Not expecting to actually even get that. So, you know what we'll do is we'll try to climb up and see if I'm gonna turn the oxygen on, and we'll climb up above 10, see if we can get out of this. This is crazy. So let's see what Active Sky is doing right now. It is doing surface winds map. So 190 at 1 knot is what it's reporting as wind, but it is definitely not this. So it must be really. I'm gonna do a weather refresh and see if it changes. Okay, so if you guys have active sky and you end up getting like a couple of glitches, I've had a couple where like seems like the weather keeps refreshing right in front of you, the clouds keep redoing. If you don't know, you can always go to the debug page and then hit the refresh weather. It's also something else I've gotten in the habit of do is when I have it checked off that the weather isn't going to refresh when I'm on approach mode. But what I'll do is in my simulated CTAF call or ATIS call or CTAF call or tower call 10 miles out, I'll do a weather refresh there. That way I have the most up-to-date weather. I'll have the most up-to-date weather information, and then I can, and then I got the not gonna have to worry about it being a dramatic change when it comes to final. So we're at 9.5. I like being here. I don't really want to be too high, but I guess we'll have to go. We'll go 10. I want to try to. So we departed that way. So we're heading down this canyon right here, following the river. I'm looking out, trying to spot. Oh, and I also got to get my new reference page for my altitude. So 10,000. So we're at 10. 20 plus. It was pretty much the same numbers. A little bit more feel. All right, here we go. 10.5. So let's pull this prop. 25, 23. And let's get this trimmed out for cruise. And then pull the mixture and get that set right about there. Okay, so we got that set. All right, so we're at 10.3. And there it is again. Close up the cowl flaps about halfway unless it starts getting hot. So there's our creek, there's our river we're following. I'm trying to see if I can spot where we can jump over this range right to the right and head over. If I look, it kind of seems like this area right here is where we're going. This is just gorgeous right here. Okay, so we're following this river. And then that little valley right there cuts in, and this is what I'm looking at right now. So we're heading down right now. I'm seeing this valley over here, which is this valley. But one of these, there's a range, and then there's going to be this lake that we want to follow. That's what we're going to follow to get back down there. So I really want to wait until I have visual on that. Drawing the straight line going down this valley that we're going down right now, we know that we're going to end up hitting that airport that's down there. So that'll be another good marker, a reference point. Trim it up a little bit. So I hope everybody's enjoying this stream. Enjoying a little back country flying and bush flying. Ortho looking amazing as usual. Time for a walk outside. Feel like I see the lake that we're looking for right over there, but from the pilot side I wouldn't be able to see that right now. So this ridge is right in front of us. Trying to figure out So we're getting close. I think this is the valley we're looking for right here. So it does seem like that that weather refresh. Either we got out of the turbulence or that weather refresh kind of kicked the bug. And that's what we're looking for, is just something that was good. So engine, everything is looking good. It wants me to go more fuel than the chart says, but as long as it's not bugging me, I'll go with it. Again, we're in the Cessna 210 Centurion. Centurion. I don't know why I keep saying that, but very versatile plane. I definitely am glad that I chose using this one on these trips, because this is definitely a long distance mountain flyer for sure. Just hooked up my gaming PC yesterday, and the first time in 5 years. I got P3D, going away from SX. Oh, that's good. That's good. Absolutely no idea where to start. Get my add-ons over P3. There's, I mean, there's hundreds of forums. Just kind of the same thing as, I don't have P3D, so definitely don't quote me on any of this, but I would definitely assume that there's a lot of forums and people to help. I know, oh man, it's been so long since I've been on Twitch, but I know Chili Willies likes flying on P3D a lot, so he'd be a good one to kind of get to you. But I mean, I'll tell you what, the source nowadays that you can really get some good information from is people that do reviews on add-ons. I know Q8 Pilot is definitely a source for me of just getting the rundown and the skinny on a plane first coming out or an add-on or something like that. So I would definitely check those guys out for sure. Yeah, it's if you like aviation and then you get a glimpse of some of this stuff, it definitely gets you hooked. It's just like it's kind of where I'm at nowadays. It's like I get at work and you're like, okay, well, on my break, I'm gonna start flight planning because I want to go here today. You know. So I can't see the lake yet. So right around this ridge right here should be our high point. We're coming up right up on the airport we're passing. Kind of bad timing, but I really need to go get something to drink. So I know we're gonna make this left turn, or right turn, I'm sorry. So it's not the longest or the shortest way of flying, but it's the best way to fly to make sure you don't get lost. Going by visual reference and make sure you have a game plan. Definitely seems to be a real world trait that you have to use and as a bush pilot, and you know, it helps to train that kind of those kind of instincts and whatnot on the sim for sure. So there's our lake, there's our valley. So I'm gonna cut this a little bit. Almost set. So We're gonna come back down to 8.5. Set my heading bug, and I am gonna go get a drink. All right, I'll be back in. All right, I will be back in a second. All right, let's get rid of that autopilot. Who needs that? Right, so I definitely do want to close these cowls. We're gonna come down. I can shut off my oxygen. We're done with that. Remember, we're coming through this valley. Around this turn, we're gonna have about a straightaway, maybe about looks like it's about 20 miles. Remember, our airfield at Pemberton is at 670, so it's going from 10,000 high mountains to 600 is going to be an interesting approach. Keep thinking I got descending a little bit too fast. Pull some power. This, one of the ways that I look at it, Wheels Up, is that in the real world, I may never ever get the chance to fly in British Columbia, but just being able to do this gives me some sense of joy of that I can somewhat say that I saw it, and I think that's for what is going on here. I was like the normal simmer that you hear that they fly at their local airport, like do pattern work or fly to a local airport and do a cross country or something like that. But virtually our sims have the world in them, and whether it's FSE, I think FSE was the first thing that really kind of pushed me to venture off the new areas. But virtual airlines or whatnot, something that's kind of giving you motivation to be somewhere else other than you want. I definitely got that perspective about a year ago, where I start, you know, having my baby, and she's almost a year old now. Vacations are not going to be a normal thing for a while here. So, what better way to kind of utilize flight sim into almost taking yourself on a mini vacation, and that's the way I look at it. So I just take myself on mini vacations virtually every every day. You know, most of the time I'm kind of got a plan, like you know, following these tours on my airline. It's in kind of a set route. It's just whenever you want to get it done and do it. But as far as in general, you know, someday I'm like, you know what? I haven't been to Hawaii in a while. Let's go to Hawaii. You know, plan a flight in Hawaii. Yeah, Terrain Adams. For sure. So let's kick that power back in there, back to 30. Down to 6.5 now. We'll stay there. Just so we know we have base of the valley coverage. And I'm going to trim this down. Alright, and we'll hold right there. Alright, EGT looks a little bit cold. Let's try to pull a little bit, see if we get that back. I feel like I got a little bit of a performance bump there. And of course, rep is telling me that I'm wrong. I don't know what I'm missing there. But what I am missing is a fuel tank change. So, just about even. Should still make the switch. We're not far out. Look at, there it is right there. So that's 50 miles, about 40 miles, 35, 40 miles out. We could probably ride on this tank for a little bit longer. I kind of got a clock from my room. I heard a real world pilot say that he uses, you know, you can use hundreds of different things. You can set a alarm in your car, or you're in your on your phone or whatnot, to remind you to switch tanks. So if you're in a plane that you have to switch tanks. But I thought of heard this great idea of, you know, having your clock, and then when the minute hand is on the east side of the clock, you have it on the right tank. And then when you pass the 30th minute, you switch over. So you fly on both tanks for 30 minutes. That's a good kind of like little mental reminder, but obviously not paying attention to the time. You know, looking around at beautiful scenery is going to be kind of hard sometimes. I do not know what this thing wants from me on fuel. Just go take a walk outside. Alright, I'll just give you all the fuel you want. I'm trying to make it run efficiently. Those mountains. The northern section of the Rockies. Just way up there. Beautiful. So we're kind of somewhat climbing here. I'm going to turn the nose down a little bit. So I'm going to move my GPS in as far as distance. So we know that we're inside 35. I'm going to start descending down this valley. We'll try to get down to about 25. Let's see if that'll work for us. So the water has stopped. There's a little lake. I see that. See the lake down right off my nose. So I have that on my chart. So now I know. I just got this straight shot after the lake. So we'll definitely start getting down. Try to go down to 25. So I'll pull some power. And add some fuel. Make sure. And we'll descend down. Try to go about 1,000 feet per minute. Really, really love the performance out of this plane. So of course Pemberton, no ATIS as usual. Again, we could cheat on how would you figure out what altitude we're at. There's the thing. How could you figure out? It's hard to tell. Like, I could say, all right, what is the peak of this? And we can look, and the peak looks like it's 8,000. So we don't look like we're too far off of that, but I mean, you know, how do you know where you're at compared to a mountain, right? It's definitely going to be challenging, for sure. I think we're going to need to get rid of a lot more power. Because we're actually coming up in there pretty quick. So we're 20 miles out now. We got to prop to 25. Give us a little extra. So we're coming up on our straight shot. I'm going to remember to switch our tanks. And it kind of seems like we're coming up on a good opportunity. Once I get straightened back out, I think that's where I'm going to do it. There's one. So the top of that kicked out ridge, it doesn't really show me. So let's hope this runway is pretty flat. So we're passing through 5. Got a little bit of stuttering going on. Not too happy about that. So let's take a look, see if we can scout it out. A little bit of city down here. Some power lines that way. So it looks like it might be just on the other side of that mound right there. So we're looking pretty good. Alright, we're straightened out. Let's go. I gotta get out of truck hire just to make sure I get down in there. Alright, so fuel pump is on. Switch tank. Check for a drop of power. Okay, still good. Fuel pump can come off. Alright, 33. We're gonna start trimming up to slow down. So we're 10 miles out now. Should be right on the other side of this mound here. Alright, so we're at 2.5. Really want to get slowed down, so we're going to pull up a little bit here. Get slowed down enough to get a notch of flaps in just to kind of get us back out of orbit. Alright, we're within the area. I'm going to get strobe lights off. Landing lights are on. It's going to beep like that with the power. Go full prop. there we are. I know that's annoying, guys. I'm gonna get out of that. So we'll take a downwind. Join the downwind at a 45. We're a little high. Drop 1 notch. Flaps. Get slowed down so we can get the gear in. And then that will stop happening. Alright. We'll do this. Alright, gear down. I'll hold our altitude right there. I'm going to trim for 80. There's the threshold. 1 notch flaps and down. Oh, beautiful little golf course right next to the airport. Oh, no, this is my kind of stop right here. Right, 45. Coordinate the turn. Right, gear down, mixture full, prop full. Pitch for 80. Oh, what a beautiful airstrip. Oh, I want to go here bad. A little bit of crosswind here, we'll correct that. A little bit of float, what? A little bit of a bounce. Alright, power out, flaps up. Easy on the brakes. 40. Alright, mixture for ground ops. And we'll spin around here. What a beautiful location. Tell you what. Can you imagine playing golf in the middle of these mountains? 10,000 feet? Jeez, that has got to be amazing. So, alright landing. Wasn't my best, but I'll take it. Where's our parking here? Guess we're gonna go over here by the fuel tanks. So we weren't far off on our altimeter at all. I think we're only, alright, so 670, so we were virtually like about 1 point on the decimal off, so not too bad. So it looks like there's some parking over there. No, that's Hilo parking. Yeah, we'll just tie down over by the FBO. All right. Beautiful flight. So we will close cowl flaps. And I will turn radios off. Tornado off. And pull the mixture. So thank you again, guys, for sticking around. Anybody, hope you enjoyed it. I don't really have a schedule. Probably will never have a schedule. It's just kind of how I feel every day, if I'm gonna come on or not. But I'm glad you guys stayed, and have a good night. Have a good night. I'm gonna virtually go play some golf in British Columbia. So again, hope you guys enjoyed the flight for sure. It was fun and challenging and beautiful scenery. All right, take care, guys. GSM Pilot. Definitely stream. If I do stream, it's definitely going to be general aviation, bush flying, Alaska, scenic areas for the most part. But hope you guys enjoyed, and check out GA Pilot on YouTube. You can see some of my previous flights. I poured everything that I had recorded or streamed over there, and that's where I have some interesting approaches and stuff like that. It's cool stuff. So go ahead and check that out, and have a good night. Thanks for watching.